Well, your time at Sheffield United then comes to an end. You move up the border to Scotland. How did your move to Hearts come about?
It's Neil Warnock who pushed me to go there because he was about to join Crystal Palace, and he said then he wanted me to join with him in Crystal Palace in January, but I need some first team game time. And he said I should go to Hearts, sign a 3 years deal, and then as soon as he gets the job, he will buy me from them. And that's what he's done. He made an offer, and I was meant to join him, but the owner at the time didn't let me go.
Oh, so did they knock back the offer then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah, was that quite a crazy period at the club's time then? I'm not awfully knowledgeable when it comes to Hearts, but I feel like I've heard of some Romanov stories in the past before.
It was unique. It was unique. Mm-hmm. It's not something that you will see in many football clubs. It will impose some player to play. Influence is when you influence someone, is still when you give the choice to the person, But it's not influence. It's telling you.
All right. So he was commanding then. He was demanding it.
If he's not playing, you'll be out of your job.
Oh wow. And you got a lot of grief from the Hibs fans when it came to the Edinburgh derbies. I had a little look at your record, and I think you've scored against Hibs more than any other team in your career. So do you feel there's a bit of a justice to that?
Yeah, like I said in a few interviews, they give me the motivation. When someone hates you all you want. Sometimes it's just to give them payback, and that's the only way I could do. I wish I had this fire up like against every team, but against them, I just needed to prove something.
So you felt really amped up every game against them, even regardless of whether it was at Hearts or not?
Yeah, because they didn't care if I was playing for Hearts or I was playing for Dumbarton, they would still give me the same grief. So my only answer was to score.
So is that the highlight of your Hearts career then? Is it scoring in the Edinburgh derby?
No. Yeah, maybe yes. My first goal, yeah, it was actually a great feeling, and I still remember exactly how it happened, and yeah, I loved it. I loved the way the fans came towards the pitch, and the players celebrating. Yeah, it was a great feeling. Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you not used to play as a secondary striker before you came to Scotland?
Yes, I was playing for when I was even at Hearts or even in front. I was Sheffield or even in front. I was the second striker, so I was more the one running around the striker. But when I came here, I came in for playing for Hearts. We went in pre-season in Lithuania, and we were playing on the pitch. The pitch wasn't great, and every time I had the ball would just run away from me. My first touch was abysmal. And that's one of my best points, my first touch, and it was abysmal. And the coach said, okay, what we're going to do, try to play back at the goal and try to hold the ball. So all I needed to do was to control the defender. And he said, oh, that's quite good what you're doing. You can play target man, which I never played before, and I didn't even know what it was. And that's when I started to play this position, and I started to get kicks a lot. And I needed to change my body shape, and I became stronger and stronger, and I lost not too much, but I guess I lost some of the speed, and I lost my because I was quite technical player. I lost a lot of technique because you don't practice anymore, Mm-hmm. So yeah, I had to change the way I was.
Do you think that move, being a target man, do you think that brought the best out of you?
No. Because until now, when when I was playing, I would try to come towards the ball and try to touch the ball as much as I can. And I was the kind of the player who even can say this. I'm the kind of player who need to touch the ball often to feel comfortable and to be confident. And when I don't touch the ball, it's quite difficult. And when you're target man, you don't really touch the ball in your feet. It's more, win the ball in the air, being strong, and that's it.
So is it safe to say then that you would have preferred playing up front with another striker as opposed to playing on your own?
Yes, of course. For example, when I was at Dundee, I was playing with Peter McDonald was up front. Yeah. He couldn't run too much, but he was there. So the things that he would do when he was staying between the two striker, the two center back, he gave me the option to come back and get the ball in my feet so I could turn and face the goal. And that's what I wanted.
So does Peter McDonald rank quite high then in amongst strike partners you've had in your career, since you've seemed to highlight him immediately?
Yeah, of course, because he removes so much pressure now on me, because everywhere I've been, the people will say, okay, that the coach and my team, Christian is in the team. We know he's going to attract two players. So I feel the two center back is on me. I feel already the pressure of the two center back. But when I've got another striker with me, the pressure is not on me anymore. And because he was playing in higher on the pitch than me, I was almost free, and he would get those two center backs, sorry. And that was much, much better for me. And that's why I rate him very, very highly.
So for you, that makes the perfect partnership then, is when they kind of read the kind of player you're like, and they're willing to kind of drag that pressure off you and allow you to thrive.
Yes. And he gave me the confidence. Like I say, I needed to touch the ball, and that gave me the freedom to touch the ball, but also the confidence, because I touch the ball more and more and more. And yes, and just I feel like happy again to be able to do things. And when you're confident, you run more, you're less tired because you enjoy what you do.
Now we'll get onto your Dundee spell in just a moment. I want to ask just about when you leave Hearts, you went to, I think it was Cyprus and Thailand. How did these moves come about? Quite exotic locations to move to for football.
Yeah, it was different. It was different. It wasn't the how you say the trajectory that I should have. But how it happened. I was meant to sign in Denmark. Something happened and it didn't happen. And I was in London for a couple of months. An agent phoned me and said, "Then there's a team in Cyprus who will be interested to have you on board." I said, okay. He sent me the contract. I signed and I flew in Austria because they were president in Austria. Mm-hmm. It didn't really work out because I was injured a lot when I was there, and also for me it was very difficult over there. Then they stopped my contract in January, and then I went to few countries. Didn't work out, and someone phoned me and said, "I've got something for you in Thailand. Would you want to go there?" I said, yes. I was about to stop, so but yes, I'm gonna give you a last shot. And I went there, and it went well, and so I stayed there 2.5 years. Was
the standard of football in Cyprus and Thailand better than you'd expect?
Oh yes, yeah. I wasn't expecting that yet. It was very, very there's a lot of Brazilian players and Argentinian, and so there's a lot of players from South America. So it's quite technical. Mm-hmm. It's quite technical. Yeah.
And moving to Thailand, was that a bit of a culture shock being on because it's almost like a whole different world over there on that side of Asia?
Yeah, of course. It's nothing that I knew, so it was quite difficult at first, but with the heat as well. The heat is just so it's very, very hot over there. But once again, the level was quite good. The only thing is the player, the managing wasn't the right way. They wasn't managing the players the right way. So the tempo would be good for maybe 20 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes. And then you feel the big drop. And now you will see all the foreigners start to grow into the game. Mm-hmm. Because, like, for example, the first 40 minutes, 50 minutes, you will see like all the Thai players running like crazy. They will run fast, they have everything. And then when it dropped, because they are tired, that's when you see the foreigner started to play the things that they learn back home. So tactically, technically, and you see that, and you start to see the difference. And that's why they like to have, because I think you're allowed only 5 foreigners by team, so they would take just strikers or defender to be able to deal with the drop of the pace.
Really, really interesting insight there. Then I would never have expected an answer quite like that. I think like most people, I would say I'm a bit. I don't think ignorance is the correct word, but very short-sighted to football in Asia. I've never really had a reason to bat an eye.
the thing, I was the same. You know, when you think that the football is only in Europe, you know, you don't see anything else. You only see, okay, big league, Spain, England, Germany, France, Italy. You don't see. Then there's other leagues and there's other country, and honestly, it could be very, very good, very, very good. Like there's a player who used to play in France. He played for Marseille. Very, very good player. He was playing for the French national team. He stopped his contract. He played in Mexico, and he says that the level of the league there is better than in France.
And who was that said that?
I forgot the name of the striker. He used to play for Marseille. I think he's the only French player playing in Mexico, so he's easy to find. But he's a striker. He used to play for the French national team.
Wow, you know, that does kind of take me by surprise. But then again, you think Mexico's a very footballing based nation over there compared to their neighbors anyway.
It's because you don't see it, but you will see, for example, in Brazil, I'm sure the level of technique must be unbelievable. Yeah. In Argentina, when you see those teams, when they play the final, I forgot the name, but you know, when they play in the final, for example, against Real Madrid, of the Champions final with all the things, you never see big score. It's going to be like 2-1, 3-2. Yeah. It's always. So would you imagine all the teams like this, you know?
It's the World Club Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's very, very fair point. I think Liverpool...